Welcome everyone, Adam the Woo here. As the recording of this, it is Monday, October 13th, 2025. About to take the short commute over to formerly Disney MGM Studios, now Disney's Hollywood Studios, where they are doing a extreme amount of construction. Just when I think they cannot tear out any more of what was once there. My favorite theme park back in the early 90s was Disney MGM Studios. And over time, I have documented the tearing out, the ripping out, not only of heartfelt memories that I have there, but also changing the layout of the land at that theme park. And what's happening there now is no exception. So I'm going to head over, see what is going on, shed a little tear, and possibly look forward to the future of what's there. I keep hanging on to the Disney MGM era. It's long gone, but there are still some remnants. Some small remnants. Let's see what they're doing in there. I'm going to get going. I'm inviting you to join me. Shall you? And it goes without saying, I love the Disney parks. I love the creation of Walt Disney and what he has put out into the world. But of all the theme parks, including Walt's original Magic Kingdom of Disneyland, Magic Kingdom, Animal Kingdom, Epcot Center, my all-time favorite was the early 90s. First moved to Florida in 1991, and I was obsessed with Disney MGM Studios. A shell now of what it once was, but I'm still holding on, as stated. I have a lot of MGM Studios stuff. One day I need to itemize all the little pamphlets, paperwork, photographs that I have of Americana, Disney stuff, movie stuff, relics, and things like that. At some point I need to come up with an itemized way to store it other than just having it on a shelf wedged in between books and stuff. But yeah, anyway. MGM Studios. Miss that place. It's also one of those things where you had to be there. Try explaining to people that have been going to the parks over the last decade or the last 20 years, and they don't really have the MGM Studios nostalgia from the early 90s like I and others do. And that's understandable because it's completely different than what it was originally intended and built to be. So you can file the lore and the love of the original, the original version of the park based on, those who were kind of there during that time, because little by little, they just dissected it, changed it, and I don't want to say ruined it, but completely pulled its original tension, out of its underbelly. What can you do? And to be clear, I'm not saying I don't enjoy what is there now. A lot of the newer attractions and the newer theming and experiences there is great. But it'd be nice to have that. What was originally there, it'd be nice to still have some of that stuff there. For me, the nail in the coffin was getting rid of Streets of America. And then the Great Movie Ride. That was it. That was the kind of the final straw of the MGM, even though still Hollywood Studios and Movie Ride was there. That was the last moment when they got rid of Great Movie Ride. I got my Movie Ride pen up there. And I got my Earful Tower. Action, Disney MGM Studios and Movie Ride. R.I.P. to both of those. Serious R.I.P. Way before I ever went to California and went to Universal Studios Hollywood, rode a tram tour. Way before that, I was really getting into movies in the 80s, late 80s, wanted to know how they were made. And when I went to MGM Studios, was able to do the backlot, see what a facade was, see how filmmaking was done. That was my first little sample into all of that, which has become an integral part of my life. Something that I really love, the fandom of movies and movie making and TV shows and things like that. This is me right there. 13X Studios made that mask of me years ago. That's supposed to be me right there. Kind of looks like me, right? Used to be tons of Roger Rabbit stuff and Rocketeer stuff. There's still some little Easter eggs around the park there. But one of the kind of weird nostalgic reasons why I fell in love with the real Hollywood was because of going to MGM Studios and learning about the recreations that they did there of Hollywood. I know that sounds really weird to say, but I originally learned about a lot of the buildings that are now on Hollywood Boulevard and Sunset because I went to the studios back in the very, very early 90s, 1991, 92, 93, 94. I was like living in that park. Now, the park opened in 1989. I was not there on opening day. However, a couple years later, Wynn moved to Florida, did go quite a bit. This is a map from 1998, which at that point, they had already built Sunset, the extension off of Hollywood Boulevard there, over to Sunset. They added Hollywood Tower. They got rid of the theater right over in this area. But just look at all the things that are now gone. Catastrophe Canyon, History, Muppet Courtyard, gone, erased from existence. Look, even Rock and Roller Coaster wasn't even around yet in 1998. They put it right there in that little cusp. Honey, I Shrunk the Kids playset. The Splash Fountain. Splash Fountain was right there. Honey, I Shrunk the Kids playset. Right there. Is this next for the chopping block? The now, what I call the now neutered version of the Indiana Jones Stunt Spectacular. I'm not even sure if I want to use the word epic in there anymore because they have chopped so much out of it. Still an enjoyable show, but again, a shell of what it once was. I think hopefully with the new revitalization and the new indie films that are going to be coming out and putting indie over it. Animal Kingdom, they will do something to the show to give it a little spruce and bring it back to its former glory. And then the Great Movie Ride, now Mickey and Minnie Runaway Railway. And just a lot of things are gone, like the bus over here, where all the celebrity bus were. Superstar Television. It's now the Frozen show, which the Frozen show is great. The Frozen show is great, but Superstar Television was the old school. This is the layout of the land. Slinky Dog, the entrance to Slinky Dog. Side note, when you board the Slinky Dog coaster, it's right there where the Eiffel Tower used to be. So Slinky Dog has completely taken over the spot. But things have certainly changed since John Ritter did the opening day special here and stood up on top of that. And I think out of all the parks, I mean, changes are always happening at Walt Disney World. I think now is probably the biggest changing and turning point in the parks adding and getting rid of things. But out of all four of the WDW parks, Studios is the one that does not resemble what it originally was back in the day. And next thing on the chopping block is the Animation Courtyard, which, thankfully, this is a good thing. They are going to be changing it and making it look more like the Animation Studios in Burbank, California. And right over here, they're going to have the Sorcerer's Cap. But we're going to lose the archway, the iconic archway, which used to be, featured in tons and tons of promo material, videos, photographs, characters. Eisner so many times stood right in front of that. And the other Imagineers that came up with this wonderful, wonderful place. All right, I'm going to get going. Just wanted to show a little bit of this. Memories. Serious memories. Remember the magic? Oh, yes, I do. I do remember it. Very, very well. Though there's the archway, see? It was used so many times. That thing is going to be bulldozed and end up in a dumpster somewhere along with the Eiffel Tower. Where is that dumpster? Someone let me know where the heck that dumpster is. I don't know. It's a secret dumpster somewhere that Disney has. All right, parked. Don't really have a major game plan today other than just checking out what's going on with the construction. Haven't been in here in a while. I was in here one time recently, but I didn't get over to where the Muppet Courtyard used to be. I didn't get over to that side of the park. So I have not seen the walls and the teardown of all that over there. So that's going to be interesting. Mike is here also.
It's weird over at Muppets because you can see straight through.
And when I think of people who love MGM Studios, like me, World of Micah is definitely in the top percentile.
Yeah, I love this place, even though we're in the third storyline of this place. It first opened, we had the whole movie thing and studio thing, and then that weird transition we had when they changed the logo a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
They got rid of movie ride, this whole transformation, and now we're reaching phase 3 where they're getting rid of the studio arches, they're getting rid of Muppets. It's slowly.
We have tried to hold on to this place being MGM Studios.
I'll buy the arches
for the last
and move them to my house. I'll take them. I'll give you a good number. It's just an arch, but I want it.
That's what I was saying earlier. Where's the arch going to go, and what dumpster is the arch going in? And is
hand carved?
And are chunks of the Eiffel Tower in that dumpster?
Please.
For you, what do you think the nail in the coffin was of the MGM days? What do you think
Dude, Streets of America.
Right?
Movie ride was the biggest bummer.
Right.
That hurt my heart. Streets of America to me was the realization that, oh, it's dead.
I said the exact same thing.
It's dead now. And I hate that I just moved here because I wanted to live here and enjoy it.
Yeah.
And I got 2 good years.
And I also said earlier too, the park is still great. It's just not what it once was.
When you first walk in, you see that Chinese theater and all the stores right there.
Yeah.
It could be 1989. It really could. It's just the more further you get into the park, I miss those little areas where we could get lost in Streets of America. And then all of a sudden Max Goof would walk by and it's like, hey, what's up, Character Palooza?
Yeah.
It was great.
No Streetmosphere anymore. None of that. Another great thing about the place currently is the fact that they didn't get rid of the Hollywood vibe, because there was a small time frame in my mind that I thought they were just going to bulldoze all the Hollywood stuff.
Yeah.
But they kept it Hollywoodish. So that I am grateful for, even though they got rid of a lot of the stuff I love. At least they're keeping the Hollywood theme. And I knew they were going to do that when they created the new Skyliner platform over there in Bus Station. And they kept it with that
same theme,
that same era and that same theme. So I don't know if it'll continue to say Hollywood Studios name. I don't know why it's called Studios still, because they don't really film anything.
Nope.
But at least they're bringing back the animation courtyard, or at least bringing it back to a little bit of its prestige with the hat and everything.
Who knows? Maybe they'll start doing stuff in there and they can call it a studio again.
Maybe they'll film one thing.
One thing.
And then we can watch it on Disney Plus.
That dude, be awesome.
Now, since the last time I was here, they've closed Launch Bay. So not even going to be able to get up to Launch Bay. All right. Hello. R.I.P. Launch Bay and the Splotch. I will never be able to see the Splotch again with my own eyes. Micah and I were also just discussing off camera how nice it is to show up, especially, well, during the day is nice, but showing up in the evening and getting the nice neon on Hollywood Boulevard, reminiscing about LA. It's like you're in a cleaner, less urination smell version of LA. You don't have anybody trying to sell you CDs.
No.
Here. Again, still a wonderful place, but a lot different than it used to be. I always feel like that scene in The Godfather where he's like, look what they did to my boy.
Oh my God.
That's how I feel when I'm walking in here. All right, walking in, love this view, crossroads of the world, the Chinese theater right down at the end of Hollywood Boulevard right down there. I love this view right here. And I love the Mickey up here, which, fun fact, is a lightning rod. So if lightning were to strike this, it would hit Mickey. He's a lightning rod. Good job, Mickey. You do get a little happy feeling when I walk in to see the nostalgia of Hollywood Boulevard and all the buildings that are matched up to a lot of places in the real Hollywood with Sunset and Hollywood. Now I'm popping inside the Starbucks, which is also a building in LA. From the outside as well, but then inside they got it themed like it would look. The Trolley Car Cafe, gonna get a pumpkin spice latte, and then head around and look at some of the construction walls. Should be interesting to see them. If you look at this one, there's Hollywood and Highland right there. In fact, that tower is right on the corner of Hollywood and Highland. Back when they used to have streetcars on Hollywood Boulevard. That would have been a good time to be alive. Streetcar day.
Trolleys out there now?
I've never seen them.
Yeah, even on the street.
And obviously the tracks have been paved over a long time ago. There's another one there.
Even the lights in here have that old vibe with the wires exposed.
Yeah, this berm next to the Hollywood Brown Derby will no longer be used for photo ops when the celebrities like Macaulay Culkin, Michael Jackson, and others used to stand right on here and get that iconic archway in the background. This berm, what if the berm who knew the berm will last longer than the actual archway? Yeah, that is a sight to behold right there with the archway and the walls up above it. Not only is there a lot of history of Eisner standing in front of this and Roger Rabbit, the Muppets, dinosaurs, all that, but also I have family memories here of my mom and my grandma, who has since passed on many years ago, coming here. My grandma came down to visit from North Carolina, Virginia state line. We were here, and I have a photo of myself and my grandma in front of this archway, just like I have a photo of her and I in front of the Miss Piggy Muppets fountain over in the Muppets Courtyard, which has been removed. So now 2 things that I have photos of, family history, are going to be torn down, more stuff torn down. And back in the distance, you can kind of see the top of Launch Bay back in there. Now this is what's going to be happening sooner than later. Well, it'll probably be a little bit later, but the construction has started now. More magic coming soon. This is what it's going to look like. Little Mermaid just reopened. I'm kind of curious if we'll be able to get up to Little Mermaid. Animation Courtyard, just like the Disney Burbank Studios, has and I actually like having the hat here, the sorcerer's cap here, more than I liked it back in the day when they put it in front of the Chinese Theater. I actually could not stand that at all. They blocked the Chinese Theater. That was kind of a weird era, but I do like the sorcerer's cap, and I'm kind of glad it's coming back in a different kind of fashion, more Burbank Studios style. And they're probably going to open those doors up. That gift shop's been closed forever. They're going to redo this. They're going to redo the entry point. Oh wow, they're going to redo the entry point. Look at this. On the artwork here, there is no awning that stretches out. Oh no, the awning's over here. Never mind. The awning's still here. Never mind. Forget what I said. So the berm is still going to stay there. And here, okay, this is interesting. I haven't really seen the concept art, paid attention to it till now. But look, that's just like you're driving into the Burbank Studios, Walt Disney Studios. That's the same kind of entry point going into the studios that you have in Burbank. So that's really kind of nice. And there's no way to really give that vibe and get that kind of feel without removing the archway. So it does make sense, even though it's a serious bummer to get rid of that history. But yeah, the wild thing is, I don't think anyone really knows, anyone in the public knows, when this is going to be torn down. So I mean, you can show up in a month from now, show up in a week, show up tomorrow, and this thing could be just rubble. A bulldozer comes in and just plows it down. You see the carvings up on the top there, the carving of the Chinese Theater, the carving of Carthay Circle, all that right over there. And then here's more of a ground level of what it's going to look like, which will be nice, because this, what this has been behind here for the past couple of years has really been a very lackluster walkthrough to a very lackluster launch bay. So getting rid of 2 lackluster areas. Launch Bay.
Look at this. Ron Williams.
Oh wow, yeah. That's from the Cronkite and Robin Williams thing.
He's on here twice.
You think they're going to put that back on there?
I would love for him to read what if he's the host?
Okay, that would be cool.
There's probably so much recording of Robin Williams.
Or hopefully don't use AI. No AI voices, please. No AI Robin Williams. Please. We don't need that.
Look at Dopey on Baloo's shoulders, though.
Oh, yeah.
Also,
that would be interesting, though, if they just brought back a little... Maybe this is going to be like a movie, they're going to show like a best of kind of thing.
Yeah.
Man, that's cool. That makes me excited.
Me too.
Look, they're all just like flowing out of the former Launch Bay opening.
It's like that new short they did on Disney Plus. You remember that? The animation building? It was like a minute and a half.
What was that called? Something of animation.
Yeah, the magic of animation.
The magic of animation.
That brought a tear to my eye.
We've mentioned Disney Plus twice today.
Now after these messages.
Love that. Love the Chinese Theater recreation here. Love it. That, however, is a very, very odd look. That is a wild look to see it like this, right? That is something with the walls. Now, we'll go on record of saying this is definitely going to be an improvement. So I definitely say a lot of negative things about them doing things to the former MGM, now Hollywood Studios. this is not a negative thing. This, I think, is going to be really good. I'm going to be sad to see this go, but I probably won't lose any sleep over it, but definitely going to be sad to see that go. Also, lightning rod right up there as well. So much has been removed here that I'm kind of like, just take whatever. I've already had my heart broken so many times. I'm kind of just used to things going away. But this right here, I'm not gonna cry myself in the corner for an hour over this one. But
Me either.
great movie, right? What's that?
Me either.
All right, that answers that question, because here are the show times for Mermaid. So Mermaid is still open. Mermaid right now is still open, even with the wall up. Oh, Wall Central. Look at this. It's also interesting that of the 4 WDW parks, the only one that's not heavy on construction right now is Epcot. Epcot construction is pretty much finished.
Everyone, to let you know, this street stops at the Little Mermaid, and only the Little Mermaid.
Street stops at the Little Mermaid. So all 3 of the other parks, Epcot, Hollywood Studio, well, Epcot's not under construction. Magic Kingdom, massive construction. Studios, massive construction. And Animal Kingdom, massive construction happening. But out of all of them, Epcot, not so much. Got to get this last little documentation of this. This is, oh, you know what? I would have bet, yes, I would bet this rounds about to the restrooms that are down here. Nope, even the restrooms are closed off. Look, even the restrooms down here are completely closed off, but you can still get a little bit of a peek of Star Wars Launch Bay, which is really, really nice. You still get a peek of the former launch bay. I'm having trouble talking right there. That's nice. There you go. And then right behind here is where that other gift shop used to be, which has not reopened, except for the Halloween event, or the Christmas event, I should say. See you real soon with some new. Isn't this crazy?
This is crazy. This is where they exit. You're gonna get flooded.
Get your last view of Launch Bay.
That's it. But they're keeping those 2 pillar like things in the artwork.
On the concept.
Eiffel Tower, not your tower, the sorcerer hat.
Yeah.
It's gonna go right there.
Cool.
I wish they'd bring the Eiffel Tower back, right?
They should put that in.
Back there, behind it. Even
Bob Iger, if you're listening, or Josh Tomorrow, bring it back, please. Micah and I would be happy.
Yeah.
And we matter.
You don't even have to put water in it, man. Make it like just a fake thing.
It could be like the Celebration Water Tower. No
That's it.
water.
That's
It's all
it.
fake.
That's it. I like it.
What do they do? You know what? I didn't really pay attention, but what are they doing to the Disney Junior building?
I have no idea. It's staying the same thing. They're just putting a new show in there.
A
I
new
think it's
show.
going to probably have to do with animated characters. So maybe what you see in here, you can meet over there. That's my thought process. I don't know though.
I will say, of all the changes they've done recently, these are the ones I'm not disappointed with.
No, because we're getting animation back.
Yeah, we're getting animation back. This needed a change, and really the Muppets Courtyard, sad to see Muppet Vision go, but the Muppets Courtyard had seen better days.
It did.
So it'll be kind of...
I think Streets of America going away kind of took some years off of Muppets.
I think you're right. And then when they built Galaxy's Edge, they had to remove the balloon, the hot air balloon.
Where do you think they're going to move the spotlight? Because they're going to have a spotlight for the.
They could
they're going to light it, illuminate it.
They could put it up in that tree back there. They could put it up in a branch. The Chinese Theater. This thing is a fantastic recreation with the handprints. There aren't as many handprints here as there are in Hollywood, but they still have quite a few, like Jerry Lewis signed here in '96. You can see a little bit of the shadow from the palm tree above. In 1989 when the park, actually that's opening day. May 1st, 1989, George Burns put his handprints there, as well as Bob Hope. And then about a couple months later, Jim Henson, he put his handprints here on opening day. You'll notice most of the handprints are all from 89 to 94. There might be 1 or 2 that are into the late 90s, but most of them are from 89 and to the early 90s, including Hogan there, 1993 Hulk Hogan, and of course Paul Rubens signing as Pee Wee Herman. This is interesting too. This was 3 months before the park opened. Paul was here putting his handprints, and it wasn't even opening day, so he was here while the construction was still happening to do this. And then Robin Williams was, I don't know, half a year after opening day. He signed this back in 1990. And then here's probably one of the more recent ones. You're going to call it recent, 1999, Michael J. Fox. So this might be the most recent one in comparison to the the ones that are from 89, 90, 91. You see Spock himself, Leonard Nimoy, signed in 89. They moved
This
it.
used to be over at Beauty and the Beast.
Oh, it did?
Yep.
He's doing the Vulcan handprints there. Okay, interesting. And there are some people who did ceremonies and their handprints are nowhere to be found.
Yeah, there's one Golden Girl
Which is
that's
really
missing.
weird. There's Dick Clark right there, Betty White. Oh yeah, so you got Betty,
Yeah.
Estelle,
Betty's Stella Getty,
yeah,
Rue
Rue,
McClanahan,
and Rick Moranis.
and Rick Moranis.
The fourth Golden Girl.
That's him. He was Dorothy. That's right. Could you imagine?
And Mark Hamill.
Mark Hamill. He was the boyfriend.
Yes. Now when you go to the real Hollywood, everything's exactly the same except this is on the other side.
That's right. Oh, and there's the gift shop where like everything is $5 or something.
Yeah, over that way.
Yeah.
Speaking of Golden Girls, do you know that Quentin Tarantino was on the Golden Girls?
Really?
There's an episode where Quentin Tarantino plays Elvis on the Golden Girls. Just a bit part. There's like 10 Elvises
How do I not know about
at a
this?
party, and Tarantino is a huge Elvis fan. He's in the Golden Girls.
What's going on here? What's
going on? What's going on?
You don't like
What's going on?
Hunka Burning Love? What's going on
He
here?
had a coffee.
Yeah.
What's going on here?
That lives
Oh,
in
you're not some regular guy. You're like a paparazzi
Yeah.
guy. You're like a
Yeah, yeah,
paparazzi guy. What's going on here?
That sticks in my head.
What's going on here? What's going on here? What's going on here? All right, this is the first time I've seen this in a while since they closed Muppet Vision and put up the walls over here for Monstropolis and all that. Grand Park, established 2017. This used to be Streets of America. This was already here, but the Streets of America used to go all the way down here. And the only thing left of Streets of America is this little chunk right here. Basically the chunk that starts right there and then kind of pans across. It goes this way, is all that's left of Streets of America. So if you turn this way, this is where the city skyline was. The city skyline, if you ever see the old photos and videos, we're straight ahead, right there. Yep, Sully and Wazowski are, look, they're in full construction here.
Yeah.
Wazowski, man, he's got all the, you don't want to get too many, I don't want to get too close and give too many spoilers. Everyone will leak that out on the internet.
The Glob Theater, man.
Yeah, no more Muppet Vision.
Nope.
It's going to be the Glob. The Miss Piggy fountain is going to be,
Stay.
well, Miss Piggy's going to be removed, but there's still going to be a
Yeah.
fountain. And then Rizzo's is going to, nope, no spoilers on what Rizzo's is going to be.
Nope.
No spoilers on that. And then Harryhausen's,
Yeah.
Mama Melrose, I'll be able to get sushi at Hollywood
Yes.
Studios. That'd be cool. Overpriced, very expensive sushi.
Yep.
Nothing says sushi more than Disney's Hollywood Studios. But that's going to be exciting to have sushi.
You know what
in
this
there.
is? This is like the same architecture that used to sit right over there that had the eyeballs all in it the more you looked. You remember
You're
that?
right,
It had
you're
the-
right.
And that's where the studio store was, so it's gone.
Looks like they're just putting a front facade on this too.
Playground.
Yeah, this is around the back of Mama Melrose. The back of Mama Melrose. Maybe a splash pad? No, it is a playground.
Playground. Cruz Ramirez is here though, from Cars.
There was a wall here originally.
Yeah.
Right? And then there was like a building here that they tore down that was part of like just kind of like the look of the place. So this is all going to be constructed back there.
Yep.
A whole new e-ticket ride.
Mm-hmm.
That's going to be awesome. That's going to be really good. And then you got Galaxy's Edge over here, the walkway into Galaxy's Edge. Because before, I mean, Muppet Vision, again, rest in peace, Muppet Vision, but everything else besides Mama Melrose and Muppet Vision, and then, you know, the quick service pizza, there really else was nothing else back there.
No.
Now we're going to get photo ops, experiences,
Yep.
a playground, which I probably will not be utilizing, but this is going to draw way more people into that area. So I think it's going to be...
Pointing this out. Look, that's Cruz Ramirez from Cars. I think Cars 3. The yellow racer right there. That's funny that they threw him in. And I was showing this. Look at that. Look at they're adding to the top.
Oh, where the hot air balloon
Yeah.
used to be.
Little monster horns.
That's fun.
Yeah.
That's cool. Yeah, so basically, my favorite theme park, Disney destroyed it in the last few decades, but at least they're trying to rectify it. I feel like I might title the video that, Disney destroyed my favorite theme park, but they're attempting to rectify it.
Yeah.
Right?
That's it.
That's kind of what
That's
they're
how
doing.
I feel.
I'm kind of happy with the
This
two
is the
latest,
house I grew up in, but there's new owners, and I hate what they did with the place.
but they're bringing it back to a little bit of its former goodness.
Yeah.
I'm going to give this a thumbs up, and I'm going to give over at the other spot over there also a thumbs up. I mean, that's probably the only thumbs up you're going to give in modern times for studios, but yeah,
I love Monsters Inc., man.
bring it on, bring it on.
Yeah.
And I kind of wonder what they're ever going to do with Muppet Vision. Will that make it to Disney Plus? Did Vision mention Disney Plus for the third time? Yeah, the only building left of Streets of America is this. And I was speaking, talking about the photos I have, me and my grandma. My mom's mother came down, late 90s. My mom, her and myself were here. My mom took a bunch of pictures. One of my grandma and I standing back in Galaxy's Edge, and you can see this building behind us, and also in front of the Miss Piggy fountain, and then also in front of the archway. I'll show all three of those. So, it's interesting. You get nostalgia, and you get memories about places you go, but then you also have the family memories. And then you'll look at photos and go, oh wow, that building that we were standing in front of, or that landmark, is also gone. So sometimes that, it hits you a little hard too, thinking of that as well. So, those landmarks have little extra special memories for that reason. All right, first photo. This is late 90s, probably 97, I'm guessing. There's a very thin me over there on the left, and my grandma standing next to me, and that's the building that I just showed. The Streets of America still looks the same. And then if you look over here, that is Muppet's Courtyard over there, where this photo was taken of my grandma and the Miss Piggy fountain. Now, years before, you got Rizzo's in the background. I think it was called something else then, or maybe the theming changed a little bit. But the Piggy fountain stayed there, but they got rid of the Fozzie and the Gonzo and everything over the years. So if you remember the last couple years of the fountain, the only thing there was just a couple characters in here and Miss Piggy. But back then in the late 90s, there were more characters in the fountain. And then lastly, this is the one that really ties into what I'm talking about today, is you got that archway, the Disney MGM Studios archway. And my grandma and myself. Look, I was wearing an Aloha shirt also. Yeah, I've been going to these parks a long time. And that was when Disney MGM Studios was in its heyday, 96, 97. I'm going to guess this was probably 96. 96 because I think it was around the same time as the Cake Castle at Magic Kingdom for the 25th anniversary, which would have been 96, right? Yeah. Oh my gosh, from back here you can see they tore down the Muppets gift shop.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, look at that.
Yeah.
You know what though, without that there, it really does open it up a lot. Wow, it actually looks kind of cool. I always thought that building really kind of blocked a lot of space.
It did. It made it look like there was more back there than it was. I think it was just a forced perspective. Made you look like you were winding through a bigger park than you were. There's not a big imprint of this park, especially what they're adding to it. It's gonna be massive back there.
You know what's weird, Micah? As I look at this, I feel like we're now on a Hollywood backlot. Like when you see that open space, those now look like facades again.
It does.
If that makes sense.
Does, yeah.
Like we're at Warner or Universal. Right. And if that wall was down, it would probably look really cool.
Oh, yeah.
With that much open space. I love this Coca-Cola painted mural here, almost like a beachside mural at the hydraulic station over here. Wait, is there a hidden Mickey up there? Micah says there's a hidden Mickey up here somewhere. I don't see it though. You got the Enjoy Coca-Cola. I don't see the hidden Mickey though. Oh, right there. Right there. I see it now. It's right there in the middle.
The hidden Mickey right there.
Yep.
This is so not theme park.
It's like beachside. It's like Santa Monica.
Yeah, it looks like something at Disney Springs almost. Oh, there's another hidden Mickey way up there. At the very top.
There you go.
Yeah, like you did that one time. I remember that.
Yes. Some step in time, of course.
Step in time, that's right.
Very nice indeed.
Great to see you.
You as well. Enjoy your time, sir.
Thank you. Over into One Man's Dream now, where they have a new preview center set up through the history of Walt and Roy and the parks and Marceline, etc. They have a new preview center for what's coming to Studios. Yeah, so basically this is the preview center. They have the Monstropolis area, but also over at Animal Kingdom, the Tropical Americas. This is a little scale model of Tropical Americas. You have where Encanto is going to be right over there, and where Dinosaur currently is going to be Indiana Jones. A new Indiana Jones ride is going to take over the same ride track from Dinosaur, and it's going to be a different version than Anaheim's. It's going to be in an area, not the dinosaur section, but Tropical Americas is what it's going to be called. And this is kind of a scale model of it here as you walk through here. That was where the Boneyard used to be, and then you walk in back to Dinosaur, so it's going to be pretty cool. Oh wow, look over there. You can see they really started to just tear down the building over there, the Disney Junior building. They have already started to ransack that. They mean business. All right, we're gonna pop in Backlot Express Restaurant, a warehouse full of good eating, which they have really dissected this place considerably and got rid of a lot of the Roger Rabbit props and things like that they had in here. But there are still some remnants of the old original MGM era. Kind of surprised they haven't torn this out yet, but for now, currently, as I am documenting this, it still stands. For now. Wait, Micah found something. What'd you find?
All this like fake rockwork stuff they have.
Yeah, look at that.
Yeah.
Look, this was outside of the
The
package. It's a little souvenir right there.
This just shows how thin
Sinclair paint.
and how they do these.
This is a facade.
Yeah.
This was the first place back in the early 90s when I came here where I learned what a facade was.
Same. Totally same.
Like a facade.
Yeah.
This is a facade.
That's like before they paint it. That's like on the architecture as you walk in.
And people that live in LA and, you know, been to Universal and Warner their whole lives, they're like, you're an idiot.
Yep.
How did you not know that? But this was my first introduction into Hollywood. Still got a lot of the stuff in here. All these props from back in the day. Some of it's been removed, but there is still some. I always like this. You look in the windows here, and they got the little prop sets of offices and things. There's a backlot of sorts there. I wonder what that photo's from. Which one of the Hollywood backlots that is. Oh, they even added a newer Jollywood Nights pamphlet there. There's something new in there. You got all the theming here with the paper clips and the pens and etc. There's a big spark plug. There's also some other photos of different things here. Kind of hard to tell exactly what they are, but you know, I've seen this 100 times over the years. Never realized it was chained to a track.
Yeah.
I never realized that.
You can move around this place.
Holy cow, how have I never noticed that? I also never noticed the big hang glider that's up there.
Yeah, it's like a hanger in
Yeah. Well, this is themed around like the stuntmen of Hollywood. And they've gotten rid of a lot of stuff, but there are still little things. Like, look at this little trampoline. Look at that. I never noticed that either.
Oh yeah, small ones.
Yeah. If you ever,
Exercise ones.
that's like the same one that Tom Savini bounced off of in Dawn of the Dead when the truck hits him. The truck's going by,
Oh my
hits
gosh,
one of the
yes.
zombies, and if you pause it, slow it down, you see him bounce off a trampoline. But they left it in there. They forgot to edit that out. I don't know if I didn't think I'd ever mention Dawn of the Dead while I was in Hollywood Studios, but here we are. So many odd things that they have left in here. They removed a lot, but they have left the fake sink and the fake coffee maker. There are no piping hot caffeinated beverage in this. So this right here, it's weird how much space this takes up. With the sink here, the water does not turn on. It's just all plexi.
Yeah.
No coffee refills here. In a day of streamlining Disney, I'm surprised they use this for space.
Right.
And this could be like storage or stroller space or whatever. No paper towels in there. One day we're going to come in here though, and this is just going to be in the dumpster with Earful Tower.
Yep.
Yeah, there used to be tons of Roger Rabbit stuff out here, including, well, they've left this. Micah was just making a good point. Why did they leave this big chunk of rusted metal here, but get rid of the Roger Rabbit props? Right? Like, I'd rather see Judge Doom's car
the
or the Ditmobile
Patrol
than this.
this.
But this is left here. Or maybe there's just no way of getting rid of this without, you know, tearing all that out. I don't know. It's weird what they get rid of and what they keep. This is still here, though, behind this chain link fence.
Bye, Daisy.
See you later, Daisy. Take care. Take care. All right. Checking out some merch here. I think this is kind of a newer shirt. Got Gertie right there. Dinosaur Gertie. Oh, there we go. You got Sunset Boulevard. You got the Mickey here. But also, speaking of Gertie, right there, you got the Dinosaur Gertie ice cream. And you got the Sorcerer Mickey right here, which is kind of cool. There it is. Thank you for visiting Disney's Hollywood Studios. You're welcome. All right, heading out. That's going to do it for today from formerly Disney MGM Studios, the place the way I remember it. But it's been Hollywood Studios for a couple, how many, 2 decades now, maybe? 2 decades? I kind of lost track of time, but in fact, it took me years to even call it Hollywood. I wouldn't even call it Hollywood Studios for a long time. But now I've gotten used to calling it Hollywood Studios. Every once in a while I'll pepper in the formerly Disney MGM Studios. That's going to do it for today. Always fun reminiscing with Micah from World of Micah. If you haven't checked out his channel, go check it out. I'll see you in the next video. Got anything to got the last moments of the video?
We welcome you to a Hollywood that never was and always will be.